Hello, welcome back to Cine. All Things Cinema. I'm sorry. All Things Cinema. I keep taking my old channel name because I've been so used to
Happens.
that. But welcome back to All Things Cinema, a podcast. And today I've been joined by Nona Prince once again for talking about a film that actually is a very important film to come out from Bollywood in a long time. It's a kind of film that usually Ayushmann Khurrana is involved with, but this time we have something different with Rajkumar Rao and Bhumi Pednekar to offer here. And so my first question, Nona, will be why is it a bit different and unusual from the kind of films Ayushmann is used to doing? Because we have seen this kind of social message film with a small town setting and a bit of humor, but this time it felt a bit different, a bit unusual. Was it
Yeah.
just the topic, or was it the way they have handled this delicate topic with such sensitivity? What did you find different this time?
I think the best example, even in my review, I took was comparing with Shubh Mangal Jaya Savdhan, where I felt that movie was okay. It had laughs and everything, and was trying to normalize this thing a lot in society. But I think it was too soon, because when you're laughing at these things, you realize this is too real at this moment. It's not like we have crossed a lot of area in a country that is it has become very normal, that we can laugh about it. It's happening in a small town. And I think their approach of making it too much comedy so people will make it feel comfortable, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Also, because I think Ayushman only said that some people came to him, sir, कि ये कैसी movie बना रहे हो आप, लड़कों को kiss कर रहे हो, हम नहीं देखेंगे. But I think the trailer also gave a lot away. And also, when you do too much comedy, right, the character depth goes away. It becomes like, oh, it's a movie about two LGBTQ characters, it's about gay love story. Whereas this film is about humans first. These people are humans. Everyone we have seen the film are humans first, and then their sexuality is a part of them. And I think that's the big difference between the two films, and that why this one works and has a bigger impact. I think that, because just one example, like, we live in a patriarchal world, right? And even if Rajkumar Rao's character is gay, that doesn't mean he's not misogynist.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, I think. And they point out in the movie also, Bhumi has a dialogue that I thought, if you're gay and you accepted it, you'll be at least liberal, but you are not. So I
Hmm.
think that adds a lot of flavor to the characters. There's more to these characters than just, oh, he's a gay or she's a lesbian. I think that really makes it distinct.
And what I also felt was I think for the last few years, especially with Rajkumar Rao, the kind of films he was doing, it felt like he was taking a safer route, and the choices of films he made was much different from the choices he made in the first part
Yeah.
of his first half of his career. And even with this, when the trailer came out, again, it felt like a very commercial sort of film with that second tier town humor. But
Yeah.
surprisingly, the film was not what the trailer portrayed. Something which we also talked about, Geraiyan, that you were pleasantly surprised when you watched the film that trailer was something different, and even in this case, it turned out to be the same. So, of course, film aside, thankfully, Bollywood is now starting to do better at trailers also.
Yeah. Trailers are tricky thing, yeah, because if you don't give a bit of information to the viewer, then they'll be like, "Arey, kuch samajh nahi aaya, we don't want to watch it. I'm confused. It doesn't look appealing." And
Yeah.
if you give a little bit more, then there's like, "Oh, sab to dikha diya, movie क्यों देखनी है?" So
Hmm.
it depends very much on the context of the film. And I think for this film, I think the trailer was okay, and I think they gave some good humor bits. There's a lot going on. It's not clear what's really happening, and it I think works in the favor. Whereas some trailers just give away too much. It's like, I think Bachchan Pandey recently, like, the trailer gives away like all the plot points basically. And I've seen the like the South Indian film it's
Okay.
based on. So I like, oh, this is that's it. This okay, the movie's done actually in the trailer itself. Now, how they connect those dots is, of course, you have to see in the movie. But they definitely, I think, 3 minutes long is just a criminal offense for a trailer. You know, unless you are Marvel, who can spend extra money to show scenes which are not there in the even in the film,
Yeah.
then it's okay to have 3 minute long trailer. But without that,
No,
anything above 2.5 minutes is too much.
even Suryavanshi had a 4 minute long trailer and it gave away
Yeah,
the
four and a half. Yeah,
full film, and yet it crossed 200 crores or something. So I think it also depends on star value.
yeah.
Would you call Badhaai Do kind of a late bloomer, like a sleeper hit, because people are now, word of mouth is so good and the performance is
Yeah,
special. I mean, Rajkumar Rao looked special.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not checking the box office of this film yet. I think it did very less on the first day, but second and third day it picked up. But I think also it was the film that took the plunge. It was brave to okay, let's just go where there's no film. It was good for them, no competition. But also people were not willing to go. Theaters were closed some places. I think that also affects. I think again, as you said, it's a sleeper hit. Now people are suddenly, oh, it's a really good film. Let's go and watch it.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel it will because the time is low. The Gangubai is coming.
Hmm.
I feel the film will get more attention when it comes on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, do you think this film would have actually attracted more eyeballs if it was directly coming on OTT? Because the kind of content it is, I'm not
Mm,
sure how many families would go out to watch this film interestingly to cinema halls. So, going by personal choice on OTT, people can easily watch it in their own time.
but I feel anyways when the film comes on OTT, like it will be trending for next 2-3 days. So I don't think it has anything has been taken away. But I think they did, try to be like, oh, first film in theaters after this again, like a mini lockdown, not lockdown, but like area where there were no releases. We'll be the first one in Hindi to release. I think they took that thing like maybe that we can market on that value, and people want to see a comedy film, so they may not think, oh, what kind of a subject the film is dealing with. And also, I think the trailer doesn't really give away much. It's just about Bhumi, and even for Rajkumar, at the end, it just hints at something. So I think that's what, and also he's playing a police officer, so people the assumption watching the trailer is little different unless you really pay attention to dialogues and everything. So I think they tried to play on that. I don't know if it worked or not, but of course Netflix will be huge for them.
So when you went into the film, like, did you have any certain expectations that okay, this is gonna happen, or I'm going to get surprised by it? I mean, were you surprised, or was it as per your expectations?
When like I couldn't go for the film when it released because I was somewhere else. I was out of station. But when it came out, I actually didn't hear good reviews. Like I actually heard negative reviews that the representation is not good, and the movie is very bland and normal. I was like, okay, it'll be an any other like small town movie they tried and it didn't work out. Then slowly I came back. So much stuff was out. I was watching it, and suddenly I started seeing these posts about Badayu and how good it is. It's such a good step ahead. I'm like, wait, what happened suddenly? And then like, okay, let's find time and go watch it. And then I actually went with my mother, and I sat in there expecting a very expectations were low. I didn't expect much. Anything really good step will be enough for me, but it just surprised me. And if for me a film really makes a mark when I know at certain moments in the film this is where the real test is for the film. Do you take the cliche way, do you take the easy way out, or do you really make a statement there? And at each point in the film did make a statement for me. I think that's why I really liked it.
So glad that you mentioned you went with your mom. So, at any point in the film, did you feel kind of uncomfortable in any scene because your mother was there with you, or did she feel or point out to any scene that this is a bit too much, or because this is not the kind of film you would want to watch with your family unless they are progressive, right? And even in the film, they have shown, Seema Power's character never comes on board with the whole idea, even by the end.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
those characters, those kind of people exist around us in our lives as well. So Were you at any point uncomfortable with your mom?
No, I don't think so. I think that's what I mentioned in my review also, that everything is done very gracefully. There's no kind of vulgar jokes or any like vulgar language used at any place. It's always hinted. It's very playful. And definitely, my relationship with my mother is more progressive than generally people would have. So maybe there are some moments which you may feel shy, like not moments, but there's some references going on, a joke is going on which you may feel shy, but I didn't mind it, and we both were laughing. I think, but the thing is that there are a lot of more things going on which is very relatable, because set in Dehradun, and a lot
Okay.
of cultural nuances are something which I relate to. So there were
Okay.
lot of things. I think one joke is, I think we can go to spoilers, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hope. Yeah. So there was one joke, right? That when you have to send your stool for getting it checked in the lab, and
Yeah.
the box they use is of restaurant, and whenever that box came right in the film, and no something else is there in the food, we and my mother, like, we will never touch that. And then whenever that happened, we were laughing constantly. So it's not like they're only one kind of humor, which is suggestive of something related to sex. It's not like that. There's all kinds of humor, which we'll relate to, and over that there's this extra thing which the film is talking about.
Yeah, and I mean, this probably would be the first film where two people get attracted towards each other, or a potential love story starts over a stool test. I mean, that that is, I have never seen something like that before. So that was, I mean, it's ironic that I'm saying it was something fresh, which is based
Yeah.
on.
But
But
also, like, even I'm not sure if that has happened yet or no, but even the way we see the relationship build up, like, they start first see each other, then flirting and everything. We haven't seen that anytime. And Shubhangal Das also, they are already a couple. We never see a backstory.
yeah,
So it's not even, they're multiple couples. It's not like they are the only one person, they are for life, nothing like that. And even when they meet for the first time, it's very, like, Bollywood sequence, slow motion, looking at each other, and then how it builds up, and that song plays in. I think it's very it normalizes it, because you have always imagined a girl and a boy with that sequence, but suddenly it's the same sex, and it doesn't really throw you off because you're familiar with that way it's shot.
yeah. And oftentimes people actually complain that, for example, when Chandigarh Kare Ashiki came, people who actually were interested in Bollywood making something in that zone, they complained, why not cast an actual trans in that role, right? And now
Hmm.
again, I have seen people saying, why not actually cast a gay person or a lesbian person for this role? But my point is, at least Bollywood is now making stuff openly on such things. Our censor board is passing it, and until and unless mainstream actors put it across the map for the viewers, the message won't go out as loud as it is right now if they were to cast any much lesser known actors who were actually gay, right? Do you
Yeah.
agree with me?
See, I think that topic is a little different of representation, but I think context matters. As you said that, like, there are movies with real, trans people and people from LGBTQ community in those films, but those are indie films and no one is watching them, right?
Yeah,
When you make a commercial film, you need big names to sell it, and you need big names to attract audiences. So it's like, you cannot expect people to be idealistic in a non-ideal world. That's my
mm,
answer to that question. Even for, I think, Chandigarh Kare Ashke also, in context, you needed someone like Vani Kapoor. You needed someone who doesn't look like a trans person.
yeah,
It's not like there are trans people who just look like a girl. You cannot say it's a trans person or not. But again, if you already cast them, the news is already out. Oh, she's a trans person in this movie. That means she's playing a trans character. That throws away the whole point of the film, right? They're trying to say. So that it's always the context.
yeah, that's true. I mean, and also kudos to these actors who are taking up these kind of roles. I remember a few years ago when Fawad Khan took up that role in Kapoor and Sons, when nobody else, who were the first choice,
Yeah,
probably
not willing to do it. Yeah,
no Indian actor did it, and the way he portrayed it so gracefully. So I think that kind of opened the door, and after that we have seen, even in Made in Heaven, the way they have shown gay
I have
relationships.
not seen the show yet, so
No, but I'm
yeah,
sorry for
I've
giving.
heard a lot. Yeah,
But that show, the way that guy, I'm forgetting his name. I think it's Arjun something. But the way he did it, I have never seen a better gay portrayal than what he did in that. So at least it's opening the door. That's why my title is India's Baby Steps into Queer Cinema. And look, Nona, just two people are watching us. So that also tells us how less aware people are right now of this, not just this film or film success, but in general, that India is not. I'm not pointing out just Bollywood here. I mean, it's a milestone film for the whole of Indian cinema, because something like this will later on pave way for other industries also to take up this kind of subject. Now coming to the performances, I mean, uh, after a long time, Rajkumar Rao again put that stamp that, I am still here. I'm
yeah,
still one of the best actors. You probably we I'm not saying we forgot how good an actor he was, but probably the kind of films he was doing all this while, it kind of changed the route. And but here he gets a full graph to flaunt the comedy scenes, or when he breaks down at the terrace and his mother hugs him. I mean, that scene, I also broke down. I had tears in my
yeah.
eyes. So would you call this as probably one of his best performances of his career?
Mm, not best, but I would say him doing these kind of movies. I think we cannot blame him because he also needs to earn money. When he did a Newton or when he did a Trap, no one paid that much money or watched those films. So I understand why he's now doing commercial films more. And I think even he said that he got a national award already. Now he wants money. So I think I understand why. But I think this role, I think the writing was so good for the character. Just the
Yeah.
premise of a cop in such a place and he's a gay, like that premise only sold you. But I think the way he portrayed that character, this is a role that you needed the character to build up. The him making up a body for this film makes sense. And
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be releasing a video of his transformation, that because that's on the point, right? You don't want to sell, oh, I did so much transformation, that's the part of the movie. I think that's not the point. The point is how that adds to the character. And I think again, writing was so good, and he just took it to the next level. That last scene really, really got me. And I think I have to go credits to the director also, how they shot it.
Yeah.
And mostly they try to do it one shot, and even it looks ugly. Him crying looks ugly, but that only sells it off, right? That he's really losing it. He's really feeling that freedom finally in his life.
Yeah, and my favorite character actually was what's his name? The guy from Hunter, who was doing a cameo
Gulshan
in this
Devaiya.
one. Gulshan. Yes. For me, he was
He
like,
was a surprise
such a
package.
yeah, breath of fresh air, and the way he portrayed his lawyer character. I mean, it
Yeah.
made such an unusual pair with Rajkumar Rao, and really loved the kind of energy he brought onto the scene. Abhishek is asking, is Badhaai Do the best film of the year till now? Nona probably is asking in Bollywood.
Soon. It's so I do this level 1, level 2, level 3, right? So I'm confused between level 1 and 2. Let's see. It depends on how depends on later how films come out, but definitely a top film. It's a
Yep.
contender.
And as I said, Seema Pava has become this kind of very trademark sort of mother or mother-in-law in these kind of films. She's always there. So I think even Bhumi is doing a lot of this kind of cinema, starting from Dam Laga Ke Haisha to what was the other one? Shumangal Savdhan, and
She
then
did
this
top.
one as well.
Was she in toilet? No,
Toilet,
no, no.
yes. Yes, she was. She was in Toilet with Akshay Kumar. So she's also
I'm confusing with Padman. Okay.
she's also becoming a regular in this kind of but she did well as a lesbian character. She And I'm so glad they actually casted somebody from the Haldwani Dehradun region as a local, as the opposite character to Bhumi, because it was shot in Haldwani, and which is Dehradun, which is the capital of
Yeah.
Uttarakhand. So it made so much sense that somebody local who's working in a hospital, so they went for a local actor who looked very much a part of that whole setup. And even the scenes between her and Bhumi and her and Rajkumar Rao, I think it made up for some great performance on screen. Like all of them
Yeah.
fed off energy of each other.
And see, that's where, right, that the places where they could cast a really authentic person, they did that, And even Rajkumar Rao's first boyfriend, right? I think
Yeah, yeah.
he felt local of that place also. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, from dialogue point of view, also it was pretty good, because the writing also had to have that local flavor, which makes the film true to its setting. So
Yeah.
I was actually enjoying some of the jokes, and the fact that this guy is named Shardul Thakur. I don't know how much cricket you follow, but there is an
Yeah,
Indian
I know.
cricketer called Shardul
I
Thakur.
didn't notice while watching the film. I noticed later when I was
Yeah.
reading up.
I mean, I just hope that people don't start making fun of the actual cricketer because that character featured in this film in a gay portrayal. But I think all in all, it's a film that I would dearly recommend all our South Indian viewers, especially because on my channel also majority of the audience come from that part of India. I'm sure from your channel point of view as well.
Yeah, I think I haven't mentioned in my review also that I know a lot of people are watching from there, so do support this film is around. I know a lot of big films are coming out down south, so it will not. I think it'll be out of cinemas also, but if you
Yeah.
can give it a chance, this is a film I think you should support. And I think this is a film that can go on to be remade into other languages also.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm sure it will be out on OTT very soon because these days there's not much of gap between theatrical release and
Yeah,
the OTT
I think that
release.
by next month it will be out.
I mean, Hridayam was there in theaters until Thursday and Friday it was on OTT last week.
Pushpa is still there in my theater in the Hindi version. It's still running.
So yeah, I mean, in South, I don't think it. I'm sure it might not be running in Kerala or Chennai because Valimai is out. So
Yeah,
not sure how much this will exist from here on. But guys, if whenever it comes on OTTs, not just because we both are saying it to you, even the word of mouth all over the country is also very positive. The way they because so let me ask you this: are you aware of any such couple? Because I have heard stories around my life as well where people are actually not ready to come out of closet. They don't really openly accept about their sexual preferences, and as a result, they had to get married in a straight relationship, and then end up spoiling their own lives, the partner's lives. Do you know any such instances in and
no,
around your life?
I don't even know. Like it's not a criteria like you remember if I know someone who's gay. It's not like they're normal people also, right? So you don't think like that. But I may know, like I know, okay, that person is gay, is out, and I know that, okay, cool. But I'm not like if I talk to them or if I have friends who I know like that. So no
But
experience yet.
I have actually known a couple of cases where people were too afraid to disclose it to the families that they are not straight, and then as a result, the families got them married. So and then of course that marriage cannot survive for a long time, right?
Yeah,
So unfortunately, these things still continue to happen and will happen because we are still not at a stage where probably the Western countries are. So
yeah,
I hope that this movie makes a little bit of difference, if not a huge one, and especially people like these or families like these who find it so difficult to accept something like this openly, they their eyes get opened. Let's take this comment. Mahan review needed. Vikram. Okay. Nona did.
I just recorded just before this stream. I recorded it, so you'll get it soon.
Okay, well, this gives me also an idea, so I'll also end up probably watching it and recording if it's in demand. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this.
My
Any last
pleasure.
thoughts? Any questions you thought I probably missed to ask? Any point you wanted to put across in context of
You
the
know,
film?
it's a movie, you know, you can like sit down and break, you know, because there's so many elements of the film I liked, and I actually want to watch it again, and you know, like maybe make a special video or something, just breaking down each point. But I think at that time more people would have seen it. And you know, these are the points, you know, that's why I feel like for Green in Kitchen also, right? Like I call it a great film. It's not because oh, it's a great message movie or something like that. It's the filmmaking that, you know, hits out first, and then okay, it's taking a social message and doing that. Same goes for this film. You know, it's telling, it's a LGBTQ story, it's a human story, but it's the fine filmmaking, how you're telling that story, which, as you know, I'm really happy with.
And also without ever demeaning it in any way. I mean, there
Yeah,
was no instance where, you know, in previous years, how in Bollywood these guys were portrayed, and you know, people would laugh at them or look down upon them. So there was no such scene in this case, and which was fresh and welcoming.
yeah.
And I just hope that, you know, that also now transpires into real lives, from real to real, that people in general also stop looking down upon these people. So Zero says love from
Zero,
Pakistan.
thank you. Hope you are doing well, and thank you for that.
And thank you guys for coming to this stream. If you have come from Nona's channel, please do subscribe to All Things Cinema, and we'll continue to collaborate in future as well. And I think Nona is doing a Batman stream, so he really loves the Batman logo in my life. I think that's one of the reasons why he invited me. So we'll probably be doing that soon. So it'll be fun to join on that. And once again, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Press the bell icon, and you know the drill. And if you are coming from my channel, so please check out Nona's channel as well. I'm sure you already know about it. Please go check out Badhaai Do if it's in theaters near you. If it's not, wait for it to come on OTT, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Okay, let's take this last comment. Bhishma Parvam trailer
Ah,
reaction. People,
coming,
people
coming, coming.
keep requesting about everything else than the film. But I think it's all the love of fans that follow you, so they want you to do it. But again, thank you, Zero, Jijo, Abbott, Sajal Chakravarti, Abhishek, Anurag, Fisher, everyone who joined us. And if you're watching it in replay, then guys, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And we'll see you very soon. Good night.
Yeah. Bye.